days after a claimed 3D design drawing of the upcoming iPhone 8 appeared, frequent Weibo leaker KK has shared a different dimensional drawing and renderings showing a device that is somewhat smaller in size than the previous leak. The veracity of the new drawing cannot be confirmed, but KK has on several occasions shared accurate details about previous devices. This new iPhone 8 leak shows a device that measures 137.54mm tall by 67.54mm wide, nearly identical to the iPhone 7's 138.3mm by 67.1mm body. The thickness of the iPhone 8 is not shown on the drawing. According to the diagram, the iPhone 8's display measures 5.768 inches on the diagonal and will indeed cover nearly the entire front of the device. There appears to be only a 4mm bezel around all four sides of the display, with over half of that being the 2.5D curved glass at the edges and the remainder appearing to be the device's frame around the sides. The drawing shows a narrow earpiece at the top of the device's front, with various cameras, sensors, and other components on either side of the earpiece. Those components would likely include a front-facing camera, small microphone hole, ambient light sensor, proximity sensor, and a rumored 3D sensor. All of these components appear to be embedded within the display area itself, and while the accompanying rendered mock-ups based on the drawing show the earpiece appearing as a physical slit within the display area, the camera and other sensors are not depicted and it is unclear how they would appear in reality. With the display filling the entire front of the device, there is no dedicated home button and thus no visible Touch ID sensor. Apple has been rumored to be trying to build Touch ID into the iPhone's display, but the company has reportedly been struggling with perfecting the technology and thus could resort to putting the sensor on the rear of the device. One of the renderings shows the rear of the device with no obvious dedicated Touch ID sensor, although there is no corresponding dimensional drawing of the rear. Notably, the rendering of the rear of the alleged iPhone 8 again shows a vertical dual camera, this time with the LED flash placed between the two cameras. As Ben Bajarin points out, the increased separation of the two lenses would help with augmented reality and 3D features, allowing for a greater difference in perspective. iDrop News and Benjamin Geskin posted their own mock-ups showing a very similar design a few days ago, but it is unclear whether the two batches of renderings are based on the same original source information or if one set's creator was working from the other. It is still early in the rumor cycle for detailed design leaks, so readers should continue to take information like this with a grain of salt until the information begin to solidify around a single specific design, but given KK's history of leaks, this one is worth considering as a possibility. Update: the drawing and renderings shared by KK appear to have originated on iPhone, and Geskin has confirmed his renderings are based on the same drawing. Apple may be forced to eliminate Touch ID from the tentatively named iPhone 8 altogether if it cannot resolve issues with integrating the fingerprint sensor underneath the smartphone's display within the next month or so, according to Andy Hargreaves, equity research analyst at Pacific Crest Securities. iPhone X concept by designer Gabor Balog. Hargreaves isn't the first analyst to think Apple could do away with Touch ID, but the move seems unlikely even as a last-ditch scenario. Touch ID is at the core of Apple Pay, and it appears much more likely that 3D facial or iris recognition would complement rather than replace fingerprint sensing. A more likely option fielded by Hargreaves is that Apple could delay iPhone 8 production until its under-display fingerprint sensor solution is ready. An excerpt from his research note obtained by MacRumors. Likely options for Apple include a delay of production or elimination of fingerprint sensing on the OLED iPhone. We believe Apple continues to work on solving its optical fingerprint issues. If it's able to solve the problems in the next month or so, it would likely place volume orders at that point. This would likely lead to a delay of the OLED iPhone launch, but we would not expect it to meaningfully affect volume for the cycle. If it's not able to fix the problems in that time frame, Apple may be forced to eliminate fingerprint sensing from the OLED iPhone altogether. At this point, Hargreaves does not believe Apple's optical fingerprint module provider has received firm orders for production, which to him suggests that Apple does not have functionality of the optical fingerprint sensor ready. Additionally, he said Apple has evaluated and passed on Synaptics' optical fingerprint solution. Last week, Kine & Company analyst Timothy Arcuri said Apple is facing yield issues with its Orphan Tech-based under-display fingerprint sensor solution. He too speculated that Apple could remove Touch ID, but he believes it's more likely that Apple will put Touch ID on the back of the iPhone or delay production. If Touch ID were to be removed, Hargreaves said that would place significant pressure on unproven 3D sensing to replace the verification functionality that fingerprints currently provide. However, he said Apple's 3D sensing production appears on track, and could be a viable alternative to fingerprints. Suppliers suggest that the solution is both fast and highly reliable, even in low-light scenarios or from odd angles. If this proves accurate, reliance solely on 3D sensing for biometric login and verification could be a viable and innovative replacement for the highly popular fingerprint sensor. In February, KGI Securities analyst Ming-Chi Kuo said the iPhone 8 will feature a revolutionary front-facing camera system with infrared for fully featured 3D sensing capabilities. The advancements will enable the camera to determine the location and depth of objects placed in front of it. Pacific Crest Securities maintains a $150 price target for Apple with an overweight rating.
Thank you for watching this video. If you like, please like and share, comment. Do not forget to press the subscribe